So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our conjunction video, which I missed, of 4 planetary conjunction, which is the conjunction of Venus, Mars, Saturn, and Rahu. And what happens when these 4 planets are conjunct in your horoscope? And as always, if you do not know, if you have this conjunction, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, all the other astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So, this is a particular conjunction which most definitely delays marriage and brings about a lot of heat, a lot of wind and heat in marriage and relationship early on in life. It'll be there throughout life, but more so in the first half of life when the planets are young, when the planets are agile, when the planets are angry. You know, in our 20s and teens, we rebel, we become angry at the world. We deserve everything, even though we don't. And so here Venus, which represents marriage, love, beauty, creativity, luxury, devotion, okay? And Venus represents sexual passion. Mars, passion, fire, anger, violence. Saturn, delay, obstruction, transformation. Okay, and it's obviously a practical planet, very logical, practical planet. Rebellion at the same time. And then you have Rahu, just an outcast energy, like whatever energy that goes against your belief system, that goes against your thought process, that is Rahu. Rahu is just wild energy. So here now this soft planet Venus is sitting, which obviously shows that especially for a man, they will marry an older woman in their life. And that older woman will control them fully. And at the same time, because Venus is the natural Karaka ruler, meaning the natural house ruler of the second house of family, wealth, lineage, 7th house of marriage, partnership, spouse, clearly shows that there is some heavy karma to be paying in such fields. There's no deny of marriage. This is not a yoga that can deny marriage. Only in certain cases it may, but it usually will give marriage with delay, with frustration. But the thing is, especially because for both men and women, marriage represents relationship, is definitely there's going to be a lot of restriction in a relationship. You're going to feel tied up and restricted. And especially there will always be at least one break in a relationship due to some heavy fight, maybe some scandal. And especially if this occurs in the 12th house, okay? It can also show that a person could have had a sexual experience against their will. Especially in Navamsha, in the 12th house, if this occurs, this particular conjunction definitely shows that someone could have been abused, molested, harassed. Now, obviously, you will have to look at the nakshatra and the sign placement. That will give you that concrete evidence that yes, something occurred. But if they occur in like sign like Taurus or something, that's Venus becomes strengthened there. Venus will be able to handle itself. Venus may still have very raw, practical experience in love, but it's not going to be as bad as some other signs. The other thing we also notice is that this person usually loves to go into technical designing. Technical education related to doing designing work, whether it's engineering, technology, newish technology, graphic designing, because here you have the software Rahu, engineering Mars, mechanics Saturn, creativity Venus. Usually also, this can produce somebody who may be interested in like jewelry making, jewelry manufacturing, watch making, because watches are connected to luxury items nowadays. It's a jewelry, it's a piece of jewelry, which is Venus. And I have seen one or two jewelry or watchmakers and people who fix jewelries with this particular conjunction. One thing I also see is that if you have brothers, you will fight your brothers due to a woman. Somehow a woman will come in and create some tension or fight between you and your sibling, especially if it's a brother. But wherever this conjunction goes in the house, regardless, relationship will be affected of all kinds. It's not just marriage or business relationship, it's just relationship between you and your father, you and your mother. It's like you're blind on how to deal with people in relationship. Until you're like 32, 34, especially 35 onwards, then relationships improve all over when Saturn matures. But before that, you'll just make immature mistakes. I've seen people who either want to be like prince or princesses of their home. They want things to be handed to them because they don't realize how to empower Venus. And this can also show, especially a man could have low sperm count. Usually that occurs more with Sun. What happens here though, that a man could have delay in ejaculation. So, because of the fact Venus represents the sexual organs, Venus represents the sperm, Venus represents the ovaries. And so there's a delay in getting it going. Like a man may not be so experienced sexually early in life. They'll have to go through some failure, some very bad, first nights before they become good at it. Hey, I'm one of them. I had some of the worst ones early on. We've all been there. So, but just know, this is a conjunction that only improves after 35. After 35 improves greatly. Before that, you just have to deal with it. You are the one who brought this conjunction upon yourself. Not God, not planets themselves. It's what you booked for your own self from previous lives. You must have broken heart of some woman or man. You must have done some harm to a woman or man. So now you're here to deal with it. Deal with it. Okay? So anyway, guys, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your conjunctions are placed, my books, reports, consultations, check out the links here, including my new school, which is now open for registration. Bye-bye.